Hello. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you, of course, to the Ake Arts and Book Festival 2016. We are in our fourth year. We'll ask you all to stand up, please, as we welcome Falana to help us with the national anthem.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey. To serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
As we are hosted by Ogun State, we would like to recognize His Royal Highness Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadigbo, who is the Alake of Egbaland, here with us. And we are hosted by Ogun State, and because of that, we have to sing the Ogun State National Anthem. So please do remain standing. Adinin Nefertiti will help us with that. The State Anthem. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. I feel so rude I didn't introduce myself. My name is Wana Odobang. I will be your host for this morning. Welcome again to Ake Arts and Book Festival 2016. As I did say, we are in our fourth year. And we always have a wonderful time here in Abeokuta every single year. But it takes a lot of hands to put this wonderful festival together where we have great conversation, dialogue, arguments sometimes. Well, I like to call them constructive debates. And of course, great palm wine too. And someone at the helm of this, of course, is Lola Shone, who is the director of Ake Arts and Book Festival. She's going to come and tell us a little bit more about what this year has to offer. Please give her a round of applause as she comes to the stage.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosu, His Excellency, the EU Ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Mr. Michel Arion, Honorable Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Bashono Muyiwa Oladipo, and His Royal Highness, the Alake of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo, and his very charming and lovely Olori. Our partners, sponsors, supporters, the good people of the media, guests, visitors and friends, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First, let me apologize profusely for the late start. I very warmly welcome you all to the 4th edition of Ake Arts and Book Festival. Unlike most events, we hold our welcome ceremony 2 days into the festival. We do this because we like all our wonderful guests to be able to attend, and many of them do not arrive until the evening of the 2nd day. I would especially like to thank our visitors who have braved the traffic on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to get here. I never thought I would ever have reason to say thank goodness for the old Lagos-Abeokuta road. I would like to apologize to our international guests whose journeys from Lagos have taken a little longer than usual. The busiest highway in West Africa is getting a much-needed do-over. I am delighted to see how Ake Festival has grown both in size and significance. We are so chuffed to see how many of you engage with us on our social media platforms. Just a few days ago, a foreign newspaper described Ake Arts and Book Festival as the biggest convergence of Black African creatives in the world. I don't know if this is entirely true, but I certainly hope it is. We do also invite non-Africans who, through their work, demonstrate a keen interest in Africa or who love and cherish Africa. As the organizers, we would like to believe that Ake Festival is where African creatives feel safe, feel valued and appreciated, where they get an opportunity to network with people with whom they share similar interests, and of course, where they get the best palm wine. We at the Book Buzz Foundation get a very warm feeling when we see photos of Ake Festival guests attending each other's weddings, stopping by at each other's events, or just meeting up somewhere in the world for a coffee. We love it when we hear that Ake Festival guests are collaborating on new initiatives. This sort of gathering is critical for creativity and culture on our continent, and I hope we shall continue to be here for one another. The romantic in me hopes that one day we shall even have a marriage made in Ake Festival. But there are also times of great sadness when our hearts are broken. We were all shocked to hear of the passing away of 2 great friends of Ake Festival, Oyebade Dosumo, who we lost last November, and Ken Saro-Wiwa Jr., who passed away last month at the age of 47. Both of them had so much to give. And on a personal note, I shall forever remember their laughter and the joy and the friendship that we shared. And we who shared this same space with them in 2013 will never forget these 2 wonderful gentlemen. For those of you who are joining us here for the first time, the essential character of Ake Festival remains the same. We offer an entertaining and informative mix of performances, discussions, screenings, exhibitions, and readings, with plenty of opportunity to meet much admired creatives, to soak up the atmosphere, and to explore this beautiful, historic city. For the Ake Arts and Book Festival team, this week is a climax to a long haul that has kept us busy for most of the year. Our goal is that you have a memorable time. Our team is augmented by an enthusiastic group of young volunteers. So if you need any help or need some information about what to do or where to go, just get a hold of anyone who's wearing a yellow Ake Festival t-shirt or anyone who looks vaguely like they know what they're doing. I hope you've all downloaded the Ake Festival 2016 app, which gives you all the information that you need about the program and, of course, our amazing guests. You can use it to create a personalized itinerary, and if you're worried that you'll forget to attend an event, you can even set a reminder which will alert you 10 minutes before. There's an icon that looks like a camera on the app, and when you click it, you are instantly connected to our live stream. And don't worry if you miss any of our events. We have several bloggers who will be reporting daily, and you can also watch these events on our YouTube channel in a few weeks' time. So yes, we're in our 4th year, and we have now invited over 300 guests from Africa and beyond. We have hosted over 200 events, and in terms of visitors, counting the school children, we have physically reached nearly 15,000 people. Just a few days ago, I had the honor of visiting Abeokuta Grammar School with Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o, who I would like to say a special welcome to for agreeing to be our headliner this year. Your warmth, and generosity have been a great comfort to me, and I want to thank you for being a father to so many African writers and thinkers. Thank you, sir. I would like to say a special thank you as well to all our distinguished guests who have come from 15 different countries. Ake Festival is what it is today because you give us your time and share your passion for the advancement of the arts and literature in particular on our continent. Thank you so very, very much. And give them a round of applause, please. Thank you. I'm very excited about the program we have for you this year. The theme, Beneath This Skin, explores identity, race, and individuality. I often ask myself what the place of the African is in today's world, how the rest of the world sees us, and to what extent we should be preoccupied with such questions. I hope that through the many panel discussions, book chats, and interviews, we will explore these questions of identity and of aspirations and rediscover how our thoughts and ideas can translate into a wholesome future for generations to follow. At Ake Festival, we believe that dialogue and interaction offer a path to understanding and tolerance. We hope that this, mixed with our usual celebration of African creativity and artistic endeavor, will leave each one of you feeling very, very enriched. None of this would be possible without our partners, sponsors, and supporters, and the wonderful work that the media do for us. We have gained some new supporters, and I would like to welcome FCMB into our fold. You see, they branded the whole place. FCMB to take over. And I would also like to specially thank the Ogun State government, the European Union, Annoying Logo, Etisalat Nigeria, and the Miles Morland Foundation. We very much value your financial contributions and your continued support. This is one of the few opportunities that I will have to say a heartfelt thank you to the rest of our supporters and sponsors. So I'm just going to very quickly mention each of them individually. The Ogun State government, the European Union, Park Inn by Radisson, Etisalat, Annoying Logo. Our sponsors are Ajala Studios, who made and created that wonderful app, the British Council, Air France KLM, the Miles Morland Foundation, RFI, France 94, OGBC, Marine Platforms, Channels Television, the Shehu Musa Yaradua Foundation, the French Embassy, Ouida Books, the Institute Française Nigeria, FCMB, Coca-Cola, the Wyndham Campbell Prizes, the Goethe Institute, the Bank of Industry, Chevron NNPC, Nigerian Breweries Limited, Peugeot, and TVC. And of course our supporters, YorubaNames.com, YNiger, PM News, Sabi News, Allport, Lafarge, ZAM, Enkari, This is Africa, Pulse, Comic Republic, CACE, Hours, Next Year, K-Traveler, Olisa TV, Afro Diaspora, Akoma, Guardian Life, the Kane Prize, Ashiri Magazine, and Brittle Paper. We are here as guests of the Governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, in this most conducive events complex. Again, I would like to thank him for his generous support, and I thank you all very, very much for being here today. Thanks. Thank you.
To think that this didn't exist 4 years ago, where would we all be? Please give Lola Shane a round of applause. I would like to invite Kabiesi, His Royal Highness Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadigbo, Alake of Egbaland, for a goodwill message.
Please be seated. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ogun State, ably represented by the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Bashorun Ladipo. Your Excellencies, the Ambassador of the European Union, my Lord Spiritual, my Lord Temporal, may I be allowed to remain on the existing protocol. Of course, I have to greet all the bearded heads that are here, all the Alailua and the high chiefs who have come with me. God bless you all. I want to say this week marks my 11th year as the Alake of Egbaland. For those of you who may not know the name Ake, as you have there, my title is Alake, which literally means the owner of Ake. Ake is one of the 143 townships in Egbaland. It is one of the smallest, but history and God will have it, it is also the royal capital city. It is where the king, the paramount ruler, comes from. So when you are staging this on my 11th coronation anniversary, it simply means that one man, Professor Wole Soyinka, has added to the historical dimension that Ake has come to occupy. His epic literary work, Ake, in addition to Ake having been the first place in Nigeria where Christian service was first held on the 2nd of January 1843. It also happens to be the place where the King of England and the Nigeria, first republic in Nigeria, the first independent country in Nigeria, Egbaland, signed a treaty of friendship in 1893. I can go on and on and on. So what you are doing, Professor Onyeka has taken us to the literary world highway. He has shown that a lot more can still be found in Ake. And where he grew up in Ake has a hill behind it. And on that hill, you have so many rocks and caves. And there you could imagine all sorts of things. You could imagine seeing a small, it's not a human being, it's subhuman, I will call it. They call it Egbere. Egbere was always found to be crying because of the sins of humanity, crying because of wickedness of man to man. So this is where the professor started. I had to go to the Lake District, the border between England and Scotland, to find the Windermere, the river from where William Wordsworth wrote his own epic, The Prelude, which is, to a very large extent, the development of the poet's mind from a very young age. So I want to thank all of you who have come to this festival. I'm more than happy that Lola Shonai, the director of this festival, has chosen to make Abeokuta the home of Ake Book and Festival, literary festival, every year. It's not taking it out of Abeokuta to anywhere again. I would like, therefore, to take this opportunity to thank the creativity of all of you who are here, particularly the creative community, for supporting me in this, my 11th year of coronation, and being part of my celebration. With deference to the governor of Ogun State, I can also lay claim to being your host here today. Please give the governor of Ogun State a round of applause for the support he has given this festival. I am particularly delighted to have so many visitors from different countries. And on that note, I wish to thank the Lena Maihama and Michael Keleha, who came to visit me at the palace a couple of days ago. I wish I had enough time in my schedule to stay on longer than I would have stayed here. But I'm sure that I would be able to get everything you are doing on the internet. I would not have missed anything. Having learned more about the festival, I have to say I am most impressed with the scale, the scope, and the quality. We all know that anything of good quality is reflected in the resources that have gone into its creation. In addition to the hard work and creativity of the organizers, I know that significant expenditure is also inevitable. I therefore wish to join the festival director in thanking the partners, the sponsors, the supporters, and the media partners of this festival who have contributed either in cash or in kind, despite the unfavorable economic climate. In particular, I would like to thank the European Union, Annoying Logo, Park Inn, and as I mentioned earlier, the governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun. You have helped to make this festival what it is, and you have helped Abeokuta to enjoy the privilege of hosting all these wonderful creative guests. You have played a part in the spreading of the enjoyment of the arts, in bringing African creative artists together, in giving people another good reason to come to a wonderful city to inspire future creative stars. I want to thank the students who are here. Great Nigerian students. Great Nigerian students. Great Gbagba. Great Bobo. Kulu Tempa. I wish everybody a very, very pleasant time. And I pray that this festival will go on from strength to strength. Thank you. God bless you all.
Is that the funkiest KBS in the land or what? Hello? Everything he was saying, all I was just thinking was, we are never going to be evicted because we are now officially children of the soil. So all of us, we're all from Arcade now. Just new citizenship, just to let you know. All right, it's not going to be only a day of speeches, by the way, but I'd like to call on Mr. Eric Maidu, who is the Managing Director of Peugeot Citroën, to give us the goodwill message.
Good morning, everybody. You know, Lola asked me to say something, and I didn't know why first, and what then. But because I'm representing an automobile brand, so in which name I would have to say something before you. And then I recalled what we said together. When you open a book of Nigerian literature, whatever book, Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka, Hélène Oyeyemi, Lola, you discover that one character has been driven or is driving a Peugeot car. So I said, maybe I have something to say then. Maybe I belong to the patrimonium of this country, and maybe this brand is something in your art. But very surprisingly, when we were thinking about writing a book about the Peugeot car within the literature, or the Nigerian literature, she didn't know even that one of her characters was driving a Peugeot. It's her son that has called her, Mom, you have a guy who's driving a Peugeot in your book. So just to say that I'm very pleased to be part of, I would say, the heritage of this country, and I'm very pleased to be with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. As I did say, it's not all speeches this morning. I would like to welcome a very dear friend of mine and an incredible poet. She is a Nigerian poet and also the co-convener of Lagos International Poetry Festival, and just all-round fabulous and phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, Titilope Shonuga.
I come from a place where mothers go to battle each day with babies strapped across their backs, another still clinging from their breasts, child care at its finest. A place of street businessmen who don't need a white collar to make deals, they sign contracts with handshakes. Shirtless, sometimes shoeless, they will show you how to make money. And you will find anything in these streets, from hubcaps to toilet seats, and it's been said. If you leave home naked, find yourself caught in the gridlock traffic of our roads, they will have you dressed. Boardroom, sharp briefcase in hand between any mainland or island, and I come from a place of jaw-dropping mansions and face me, I face you rooms, where a child hawks goods in the blazing sun next to an air-conditioned Mercedes-Benz. There are dichotomies here, with abject poverty chewing at the seams that bind us, but we are the same people who built a city on water, who bent fire and metal to give you art, built empires before the world's first breath. Check your textbooks. Better yet, check your encyclopedias, read between the lines. You will find us there. You will find us everywhere. Every continent, every climate, every country speaking Portuguese, French, Italian, and they call us uncivilized. We can show you how to perfectly pair your caviar and wine and still get down fingers deep in a plate of pounded yam, and I come from a place where the world's best storytellers first spoke, who taught you that you must set forth at dawn. Be no longer at ease with that thing around your neck before things fall apart. So when you ask me where I come from, there are things that I want to tell you that are louder than my bright green passport. Things that are heavier than the filled explosive cradled in Mutalab's underpants. Things that are more colorful than a well-crafted 419 email. You will never understand who I am until you know exactly where it is that I come from. How I am gap-toothed black girl, back corner of class scribbling left-handed poetry on blank paper. Save the school's curriculum for later. I am overflowing tales by moonlight, that informal education, trickling off the tip of my grandmother's tongue. You will find my mother tongue here. a fast, fluent Yoruba crisscrossing English, hidden messages in prose and proverbs call it Yorubanglish. And I am the miracle of melody, nestled deep in the groove of a rich high life rhythm, a child of the marriage of hip hop and Afro beats. You will hear our voices, pulsing beneath the skin of a talking drum, commanding hips to move without caution, but caution. This is where a woman is born, where she learns the infinite connection between her waistline and the baseline, and I am sky-high gele, bold and beautiful, meat-stretched skinny jeans. We redefine fashion, wear our stories around our necks and from our ears so we never forget the voices of our ancestors, and I am what they never taught you in history books. Legacies of age-old traditions, incantations of ancient griots, a nation of storytellers. The beautiful and the broken, the struggling and the surviving, the ones they said would never make it. This is who I am. Thank you.
Did I not tell you? She's my friend, though. Ladies and gentlemen, Titi Lokpa Shonuga. What can I say? Ake only brings you the finest. We are a gathering of dreamers, of creatives, of just incredible people and incredible energy. And a few people help to make those things happen by, funding and giving prizes and just helping us make our dreams come to life. I would like to invite Michael Kelleher from the Wyndham Campbell Prize. He's the director, to come on stage.
Hello, Ake. I'm really excited to be here. This is my first time in Nigeria. It's also my first time in Africa. But coming here, I feel so welcome, but it also feels very familiar to me because in the 4-year history, which it turns out coincides with the 4-year history of Ake, of the Wyndham Campbell Prizes, I've had the privilege to read so much of the incredibly exciting literature that is being written all across the African continent. We've had, in those 4 years, we've given out now 35 prizes to English language writers from around the world. And of those 35 writers, 6 of them have been from Africa. Which is the largest representation, I think, outside of the United States in our prizes. So congratulations to all of our great African writers, especially 2 of our prize winners who are participating in the festival. Teju Cole, who I don't know if he's here at the moment. Is he here? Well, and Helan Habila over here. We're thrilled to be here, and we're really happy to support this festival. And thanks again to the amazing Lola for inviting me here and putting together this wonderful festival. And I hope you all have a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael. I'm sure we're going to show Michael a fantastic Ake time, right? This is his first time in Africa. I mean, how best to make his debut? I'd like to call on Ife Mbanugo, who is the administrative manager of Ake Arts and Book Festival, to come and tell us a little bit about the Ake Review.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Every year, we work very hard to produce an edition of the Ake Review that is rich, engaging, and beautiful. This year's edition of Ake Review contains poetry, interviews, arts, photography, and short fiction, all carefully selected and edited by the amazing Miss Molara Wood. We normally print the official journal of the Ake Arts and Book Festival abroad, but the economic environment this year means we had to explore the option of publishing it locally. We hope that you enjoy reading it, and we hope many of you contribute to next year's edition. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the 2016 edition of the Ake Review. Thank you.
Thank you, Ife. And at this point, I would like to call on Matilda Edwards, who is the secretary of the Miles Moreland Foundation, one of our sponsors of Ake Festival.
Wow, it's amazing to be back at Ake. So I'm here representing my boss, essentially, Miles, who was meant to come, but sadly, last minute, got called away on business. So he has written something for me to say. So for the next few minutes, just imagine that I'm a 6 foot, 70-year-old man with white hair. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, Lola, and wonderful festival goers, I am gutted not to be here. The Miles Moreland Foundation was the first major sponsor of Ake, and we like to think it was our initial support that gave Lola the ability to build and launch this astonishing festival. A business engagement has prevented my coming this year, but Matilda is here to show our support and to pass on our enthusiasm and admiration for what has surely become, in 4 short years, the leading literary festival in Africa. Lola, what you and your team have done is truly extraordinary. I have been investing in Africa for 30 years, and in that time I have learned that, yes, Africa rules, but more importantly, it's the women who rule. If you want... If you want to get things done in Africa, particularly Nigeria, one of my favorite places in the world, find a woman to do it. Find a Lola. Who wouldn't want a Lola? I know no country which generates more positive energy than Nigeria. It's an example of how enthusiasm, intelligence, and good spirits combine to produce one of the most creative climates in the world. The writing coming out of Nigeria today shows an energy and a depth that is being replicated in few other places, and it does it with that uniquely Nigerian combination of wit and passion. You have seen it in the works of Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka, Ben Okri, and Chimamanda. But I also know that taking part in this great festival are the new Ben Okris and the next Chimamanda. That is not to ignore the many amazing writers from elsewhere in Africa, attracted to Ake because it has become the place to be for the best African writers of today. As you may know, our foundation gives 4 or 5 writing scholarships a year to outstanding African writers, allowing them to take a year off to write their book. The scholarships show how many African countries are producing good writing today. Of our 12 scholars to date, we have had 1 each from Uganda, Sudan, Egypt, and Zimbabwe, 2 from South Africa, and at the top of the list, 3 each from Kenya and Nigeria. We've just compiled the long list for this year's scholarships. It has 98 people on it, of 500 entries, competing for just 5 writing scholarships. 40 of those 98 names come from Nigeria. It's amazing. With South Africa being next with 14 names, but big difference. I am personally so sorry not to be here for what I know will be a brilliant festival, but also a brilliant party. I send my best wishes to all at the festival and to all who helped organize it. Rock on Nigeria, rock on Lola, rock on Ake.
Thank you so much, Matilda. We'd like to call on Jeff Ryman and Chinelo Onwalu, who would come to speak to us about the Nomo Awards.
While we're climbing the stage. Since 2009, there's been a fascinating explosion of writing from all over Africa in the fields of science fiction, tales of the supernatural, tales of traditional belief, and philosophically speculative fiction. And we lump all of that together under the headline speculative fiction. I'm very, very pleased and very, very grateful to Lola and Ake Festival to give us this opportunity to formally announce a new professional body of writers and editors in the field of speculative fiction in Africa and new awards for African speculative fiction. And to help us with that, I'd like to call on Chinelo Onwalu, who is editor and co-founder of Omenana magazine, a Nigerian science fiction magazine.
I want to say a big thank you to Lola and to all the organizers of the Ake Festival. We're here to present the African Science Speculative Fiction Society. This is a professional and semi-professional body of writers, artists, editors, and other people who work within speculative fiction, including filmmakers. What we want to do is create a body where writers, artists, and other kinds of creatives working in speculative fiction can come together, collaborate, and find a home for each other, look out for each other's interests, for instance. The vision of the society is to sort of become a focus point for discussion about speculative fiction in Africa and to take actions to promote it. So in line with that, we are creating the NOMO Awards, which will be the first of its kind on the continent. And to sort of talk a little bit more about that is Shedrack Chikoti.
Thank you. So the NOMO Awards recognize works of speculative fiction by African writers in speculative fiction, as I've said, so science fiction, fantasy, and members as well as non-members will nominate works in 4 categories, which include the Ilube Award for Best Speculative Fiction. This is a novel. There's prize money for that, $1,000. And another category is NOMO Award for Best Speculative Fiction Novella, $500. And the short story category, $500. And then graphic novel category, $1,000. And the exciting news is that we have prize money for 4 years. Yay! So thanks to Mr. Tob Ilube. And if you're wondering about the name, NOMO, is derived from twins from Dogon cosmology who are shapeshifters. Thank you so much.
So the membership of the African Speculative Fiction Society is open to all Africans, people who have 1 or 2 parents of African heritage and at least 2 generations of African heritage. The website to find out more about what we do is africansfs.com. So please check it out, and if you can, we hope to be here next year announcing the winners of these awards. Nominations are open now, so please check out our website, join, and take time to think about all the speculative fiction you've read this year, and please nominate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please give them a round of applause. It's great to see, their awards diversifying in the literary field as well. So we're very grateful for that. All right, at this juncture, we would like to invite Elvis Ogenwaye, who is the Director, Brand and Experience at Etisalat, Nigeria.
I call him my rascal professor. Good morning, everybody. I'm a first-timer in Ake, and I must say that last year, by this time last year, I was in the UK, and I was watching CNN, and I saw the review of Ake. I said, this can't be happening in Nigeria, and I've never attended. And so I made a promise to myself that I was going to be here this year. And so I started the journey to attending today's festival since yesterday. So I left the office. I left the office very early. I was going to come and sleep in Abeokuta, so I'll be here early enough. And after 6 hours on the road, 6 interesting hours, I bought pure water. I love your, by the way, I love your poem. Nice one. Captures what we go through in Nigeria. So I bought pure water, I bought banana, and I was careful while buying them to be sure that somebody will not come from the back and arrest me for patronizing street hawkers. And so I stayed for like 5-6 hours. I couldn't make it, so I went back home. And this morning I set out as early as 5 a.m., and I didn't get here until past 9. It tells you how important Ake is to me and to Etisalat. On that note, I want to say good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here. And I want to particularly say a good morning to the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Michael Adedotun Aremo Badebo. God bless you, sir, and thank you very much for being here. It's a joy for us in Etisalat to be associated with the Ake Book Festival. For us, we take literature as a very important part of our business. And that is why in 2013, we invested, or we started the Etisalat Prize for Literature, where we recognize great literary works. And between then and now, we've invested heavily in the area of literature and trying to support literary works in Africa. So the winner of last year Etisalat Prize for Literature got £15,000 and a Mont Blanc pen, and had the opportunity to attend a fellowship at the East Anglian University, sponsored by Etisalat. The same thing will be happening to the winner of this year. So the journey for this year started in June, and we had so many entries from across the world for the Etisalat Prize for Literature, which started in June. And as at yesterday, we announced the short list, or the long list as it were, of 9. And from that long list, we are going to prune down to 3, which we call the short list. And then the final winner will get the same prize come March next year. So for us in Etisalat, we are proud to be associated with literary work. And I'll be showing you a short video of just 2 minutes to take you into our journey of literature, what happened last year, the theme of last year, and the different people that participated in last year's award. And thereafter, our chair of judges, Mr. Helen Habira, will join me up here as we review the 9 long list. And these books are available at our stand just behind. So I'd like to encourage us to visit the stand and get this 9 long list. I think it's going for about 1,000 naira. And so, Mr. Habira, please, you can join me. So we'll just watch this short video, and then we'll now go through the unveiling.
Diversity is not an abnormality, but the very reality of our planet. The human world manifests the same reality. It will not seek our permission to celebrate itself in the magnificence of its endless varieties. Chinua Achebe. Diversity is one thing we all have in common. Celebrate it every day. The Zulus, the Maasai, the Berbers, Yorubas, Fulanis, and Ashantis. The African spirit of brotherhood keeps us together. Small wonder we coexist in perfect harmony, united in purpose like the ebony and ivory keys of the keyboard. Makossa, Afrobeat, Highlife, Kwaito, and music of the Maghreb. The love, the delight, the charm, the freshness, the greenery, the sweetness in the air, the breath of life, the seas, the oceans, the rivers, the birds of the air. Freedom. We've got nothing but respect for these titans of the pen who capture these moods, men and women of giant frames amidst a gathering multitude who capture this indescribable beauty in Africa with their pen. We say we live in Africa, but through these works they tell us Africa lives in us. Etisalat Prize for Literature aims to promote passion and nurture homegrown talent, and above all, providing a platform for communicating ideas. The platform recognizes first-time writers of published fiction across the continent. To each and every one of you, we say a big thank you for taking on the daunting task of positively representing the diversity of this great continent through your works.
Thank you. So we'll just go through the long list. But before we do this, I'd like to thank Lola. Lola, thank you so much. You've been a great partner. You've been helpful to us in our journey. And so we'll just do this quickly. I don't know if we have it. Yeah. Okay. The first, well, it's not in any order. So the first name I have here is Julie Irumwanya. Title of her book is Mr. and Mrs. Doctor, publisher Coffee House Press.
And the second name we have here is Mohale Moshigo. And the title of the book is The Yearning. And the publisher is Pan Macmillan.
And then the next one I have here is Naken Taore, titled Piggy Boys Blues, publisher Black Bird Books, an imprint of Jacana Media, South Africa.
And the next one is Jane Thorpe, title The Peculiars, publisher Penguin Random House.
And the next one is El Nathan John, titled Born on a Tuesday. That person must be very popular. And publisher is Cassava Republic.
And the next one is Jowo Ile, title And After Many Days, publisher Farafina, an imprint of Kachifo Limited, Nigeria.
And the next one is Andrew Miller, that's the name of the author, and the title is Dub Steps, Jacana Media.
Next one is Jackie Loange, title The Seed Thief, publisher Omuzi Publishers.
And the next one is Unati Magubeni, title is Wanleze Langa, the Star Child. I hope I pronounced that well. And then the publisher is Blackbird Books, imprint of Jacana Media.
Oh, okay. And that's it.
And that's it.
9 books, yeah.
9 books, yeah. And the 10th one is the one by me in my dream very soon. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. How are you guys feeling this morning? I know we're all like, deep and serious writers, but we can have fun too. How are you guys feeling this morning? Woo! All right, we'd like to invite Diran Olojo, Vice President, First City Monumental Bank, FCMB, who are our sponsors. Monument Bank, who are our sponsors, to come on.
Yeah, First City Monument Bank. Yeah, thanks. There's really nothing as intimidating as talking in a room full of writers. You have to watch your syntax, your grammar, your diction, your everything. I speak regularly, but I don't think I've had butterflies in my stomach like today. Interestingly, I graduated from IFE in 1989. English, by the way. So you can imagine I'm very excited to be here. And we have a WhatsApp chat group of the 89 graduates. So when I sent a message to my classmates about 40 minutes ago that I was in the same room with Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o, you can imagine the level of envy. Right now, I'm not very popular in that class, I assure you. So I'll do the official speech. I'm representing Mr. Ladi Balogun, the Group Managing Director of First City Monument Bank. On behalf of the entire FCMB Group PLC, I congratulate the Executive Governor of Ogun State, His Excellency, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, the Alake of Egba Land, His Majesty, Oba Michael Adedotun Gbadebo. And by the way, sir, I didn't know you were a student union leader until today. The organizing committee of the 2016 edition of the Ake Arts and Book Festival, the renowned writers, literary icons, and other distinguished personalities here present, friends and well-wishers of Ogun State and Nigeria, on this year's event themed Beneath the Skin. For all lovers of arts, culture, and creativity, the Ake Arts and Book Festival is more than an event. As one of Africa's biggest literary gatherings, it has become a unifying platform to showcase and project the best of the continent's literary prowess. The festival, since its inception, has continued to influence the lives of many people, especially our youths, by inspiring them to adopt a reading culture, which in turn promotes the development of their intellect. Topics discussed during the panel sessions and other presentations during the festival are now expanding the frontiers of modern literature. This has gone a long way to broaden knowledge and understanding of Africa's rich sociocultural heritage. This has also opened new opportunities for literature,
creating the platform for art lovers to meet and interact with major voices in the contemporary African literary scene. I'm sure a lot of people will give their right hand to meet Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o, for sure. Thereby shaping the kinds of stories that will be told by a new generation of writers. As one of Africa's foremost financial institutions, FCMB recognizes that respect for our heritage is important as a catalyst of cultural diversity and the guarantee of sustainable development. Hence, we are proud to associate with the Aké Arts and Book Festival. As a true partner and a bank that is committed to helping individuals, organizations, and businesses to fulfill their aspirations, we would like to use this opportunity to reiterate our commitment to continually support initiatives that impact on human and societal development. Once again, we congratulate all stakeholders involved in the 2016 Aké Arts and Book Festival and wish you a very insightful and successful experience. That's the official speech. Now, I like speaking from the top of my head. It comes much more naturally to me. This all started as a WhatsApp chat between Femi, who happens to be Lola's cousin, and I, a few months ago. I'd never met Lola. And it was a long shot in the dark because typically, this is not the kind of project a bank will get involved in. And Femi told me, look, you really have to meet Lola. And Lola and I spoke a few times. I could sense the passion in her voice. And then we met physically, and I was stuck.